I'm Mother Blue Dot. I'm a stay-at-home mom in a little blue speck in red, red, red Tennessee. I wanted to talk about yesterday's election and why I think it actually makes sense that Donald Trump won. I don't as much think that it's a matter of the Harris campaign losing. There's certainly some strategic things that I would have done differently. Maybe, I don't know, they could have found some more Cheneys to campaign with, or maybe they could have done a seance with Ronald Reagan's ghost and gotten his approval, or something else to get that maybe one possible Reagan Republican woman that was definitely going to vote for a Democrat. But setting all of that aside, I think that what surprises people that are not Trump supporters about him is that he is a conservative. And I'm going to explain why him running as a conservative with his personality is actually, it makes perfect sense. So, what I think of whenever I think of conservatism is someone that would be religious, that wouldn't have had as many affairs with porn stars, maybe committed 33 or fewer felonies. That's what I think of, something that's a little bit more traditional than what we actually got with Donald Trump. But the heart of conservatism isn't religiosity or anything like that. The real heart of conservatism is the desire to fit and to make others fit into a rigid social hierarchy. So the hierarchy that Donald Trump represents is something that conservatives not only want to fit into so that they can feel that they are above others, but so that they can feel that they are in their proper place. And that makes them feel safe and that there is a sense of order and justice and that all is right with the world. They know that they have God above them and their inferiors below them, and so everything is going to be fine. And you can see this come up time and time again whenever Jordan Peterson talks about lobsters and how they establish dominance over one another or something. I don't really follow it. Or whenever other conservatives reveal that they are trying to put someone else in their place. Like whenever other conservatives, like Crowder, for instance, would talk about wanting to end no fault divorce. That's wanting to make sure that women don't get out of their place. And I think that idea and that urge to try to put people in their place and order them in a rigid hierarchical structure is what powered Trump's victory. I think that as a woman, Kamala was in a uniquely difficult position. And as a woman of color, I think that what she represented, through no fault of her own, was a challenge to the hierarchy. And progressivism, as opposed to trying to reinforce that rigid hierarchy, is trying to build a more egalitarian society. And conservatives feel that as something that's very chaotic and frightening and against the natural order. So whenever I think about all of the conservatives that I love in my life and all of the people that I know voted for Trump against my interest and their interest and everybody's interest, I think again to the fact that they feel safe knowing that there is a structure that they can easily fit into. I think that this is a bigger problem in America than it is in some European countries or other countries around the world, because we have a few things that make our strain of conservatism particularly pernicious. We've got our religiosity and the way that we are more fundamentalist than countries in Europe that might have already elected a female president or try to do more progressive social reforms. Also, inherent in our more kind of laissez-faire capitalism is the idea that there is a meritocracy. And this imagined meritocracy will sort people into the social position that they deserve. And we'll be able to tell how worthy they are based on how much money they make. With our capitalist meritocratic system that we've got, we can easily see in dollar amounts how much you as a person are worth, how much you contribute to society, how valuable your life is. And that kind of desire is inherent to conservatism. And not only that, but eventually, whenever you have enough of this late stage capitalism and enough of this urge to sort everyone into different groups and different rungs on the ladder, you are going to end up with something that is a little bit more fascistic and something that is a little bit more dangerous. And what we got yesterday. So even though by the polls it was a bit of a surprise, knowing who we are, it wasn't all that surprising. And knowing that they're trying to establish themselves within a rigid social structure that kind of provides the framework for what we can do as progressives to try to work towards something a little bit more egalitarian and work towards something that recognizes people as each having their own inherent value and each being worthwhile and each being important.